Good morning, students. Welcome back to online classes. Yesterday we had started reading the chapter When the Fish Laughed. So in this, it's a folk tale. In this folk tale, it's a Kashmiri folk tale. We studied that. There was a queen. She was sitting in a balcony, and over there she heard the sound of a fisherwoman who was selling fish. So the queen wanted to buy the fish from her, but the fisherwoman told that the fish she had was male. So the queen was disappointed because no one other than the king was allowed, no male other than the king was allowed to enter the queen's palace. So that's why no animal, no human being was allowed in the queen's palace. So she could not buy the male fish. Hearing this, the fish started laughing, and the queen felt insulted, and she left the balcony and went into her room and called for the king. So when the king came, so at that time she started crying, and she said that nobody had insulted her throughout her life in such a manner, that a fish had insulted her. The king was surprised, and the king told his minister, his wazir, to look into the matter. And now the wazir is very upset because he does not know how to solve the problem, and he told his son Amir everything what had happened in the morning in the queen's palace. So Amir is very intelligent, so he consoles his father that don't worry, we will soon find out the solution for the problem. Now let's read on. Scene 4. A big warm kitchen in a farmer's house. It is afternoon. The farmer's young and comely daughter, comely means pleasant looking, attractive, is serving lunch to her father, who is sitting on a low flat stool with a little table in front of him. So he is sitting in the kitchen. The farmer, a rich farmer house scene is, the setting is of a rich farmer's house, and the farmer is having lunch. His daughter is serving him lunch. Now the farmer's name is Bhaskar. Shivani, today while returning home from town, I met a strange young man on the way. Then Bhaskar told Shivani. Shivani is the name of his daughter. That while returning home from the market, I met a strange young man. Shivani, why do you call him strange, father? Bhaskar, he would ever so often speak in a manner that I could not make head or tail of. Like when I invited him home, he asked me if the beams of our house were strong enough. Now, wouldn't you call that strange? Now, Shivani asked that why are you calling that man strange, father? So Bhaskar told her that he was talking in a very strange manner. I could not understand him. What was he asking? Like he asked me that if the beams are the wooden pillars, the bars which support the house, are they strong enough? So that he asked the strange man, that the young man whom he had met in the market, had asked him this question. Now Shivani, giggling, oh father, he seems to be a very wise man. He only wanted to know if we had enough food to feed him. You should have told him that the beams of our house are strong enough. Where did you leave him? I would very much like to meet him. So Shivani explained the question of that young man to her father, that he only wanted to ask if we had enough food in our house to feed him or not. So then she asked her father that where have you left him? I would like to meet that young man. Bhaskar, I left him standing near the local inn. Inn means the roadside hotel. So, Shivani calls a servant and gives him a bowl of porridge. Porridge, as you know, it's the दलिया जिसको हम बोलते हैं in Hindi. It's called porridge in English. 12 chapatis and a jar full of milk. Shivani then told the servant, go and find the young man my father met. Give him these and tell him that the moon is full, there are 12 months in a year, and the sea is full of water. Also tell him that he is invited to dine at a house this evening. So she calls the servant and gives him one bowl full of porridge, 12 chapatis and a jug full of milk, and gives the message for the young man that moon is full. That's a secret message, the hidden message. The moon is full, there are 12 months in a year, and the sea is full of water, and invited him to dine. Dine at means to have dinner, have lunch, have meal at their house in the evening. Servant, I will do as you say, mistress. The servant leaves. On the way outside, he meets his son who is hungry. So he gives him some porridge, 2 chapatis and half the milk from the jug. He returns after a while. Mistress, I did as you said, and the man thanked you and accepted your invitation. He also told me to tell you this. The moon is new. There are 10 months and the sea is not full at all. Now, since Shivani had sent him a coded message, so in the same way, he has also sent the answer in the coded way. That Shivani had sent that moon is full. That means bowl is full of porridge. But since he had given some of the porridge to his son, that servant had given, so that's why the young man told the moon is new. That moon is not full, it is new. There are 12 months. Shivani told that there are 12 months. So, but 2 chapatis were given by the servant. 2 chapatis the servant had given to his son. So that's why he said, the young man said there are 10 months instead of, that's why he said that instead of 12 chapatis, he got only 10. That's why he said that there are 10 months. And what else Shivani had given? A jug full of milk. But some of the milk had been given, taken out by the servant for his son. So that's why he said the sea is not full. That means the jug was not full. Shivani understood everything. So in an angry tone, wicked servant. Wicked means you cheat servant. Cheater, you stole from the food that was meant for someone else, and you shall be punished for this. Go away from here. Now she got angry and told the servant that you have cheated, you have taken out the food which was given for somebody else, and you will be punished for that. Now go away from there. Here, the servant leaves. It is evening. Amir is at Bhaskar's house. Shivani is serving dinner to Amir and her father. Amir tells them about his father's predicament. Predicament means difficult situation, difficulty, and his search for the person who could solve the mystery. He feels that Shivani might be the person and asks her for her advice. Now, Shivani, it is clear why the fish laughed. There must have been a man inside the queen's palace at that time. Now Shivani explains why did the fish laugh. Fish laugh because there must be some person, some male person inside queen's palace at that time. Amir, impossible. He would have been caught immediately and put to death for such an offense. Offense means crime. So, if there had been a man inside that palace, inside the queen's palace, he would have been caught and put to death immediately. Shivani, not if he was dressed like a woman. Not if he was disguised. If the man is dressed up like a woman, he will never be caught and he will never be put to death. He will never be killed. Amir, realizing the logic of an argument, of course, I must rush home and give this news to my father. Now he runs back home and tells everything to his father. Now scene 5. Let's see what is the setting. The king's palace grounds. A feast is going on. Feast means a grand dinner. The queen is present with her maids. The king has organized this feast on advice of the vizier's son to get hold of the man disguised as one of the queen's maids. A large deep pit had been freshly dug in the ground. Now they are all standing in the king's palace grounds, and a large dinner has been arranged on the advice of Amir, and then the purpose is to catch the person who is disguising as queen's maid. And there is a large deep pit has been dug out in the ground. Wazir. Now we have a game for Her Majesty's maids. His Majesty will reward 1,000 mohurs to the lady who can jump over this pit. His Majesty means the king. Mohurs means gold coins will be given to the lady who will jump over this pit. King, impossible. Who can jump over the pit? Now it is such a large pit. No woman can jump over this pit. It is impossible for these maids. One by one, the maids try to jump over the pit, but fall into it instead. Finally, one maid does manage to fly right across to the other side of the pit. Wazir, guards, get hold of that person and remove the veil. Underline the word veil. Veil means a cloth covering the face. That's a man. Now they get hold of the man who is disguised as a woman, as the maids of the queen. The person tries to escape, but he is captured by the two guards. When the veil is removed, the person is revealed to be a man. And now the cloth covering the face is removed. That person comes out to be a man. King, this, my dear, is the reason why the fish laughed. A male was already in your palace. It is the wisdom of the Wazir and his son that has helped us catch this culprit. Queen, oh, that is so terrible. Now the person had come to kill the queen and the king as in the disguise of a woman. He had come from the enemy country. So when the queen comes to know all of this, she says, it's so terrible. The Wazir and his son have prevented the crime. Prevented means stopped. This man intended means wanted to do in disguise. कि चालाकी से जो ये डिस्गाइज में ये अपना भेष बदलकर जो काम करना चाहता था, वजीर और उसके सन ने, they have stopped that crime from being happening. Your Majesty, such wisdom must be rewarded. Your Majesty means my king. She tells the king that this kind of wisdom, this kind of intelligence must be rewarded. The Wazir and his son were indeed means actually rewarded by the king with lands, golds and jewels. So the king had given them land as gift, gold and jewels as gift. The Wazir retired to a palace built near a lake where he lived happily with his son and his wife Shivani. Now his son Amir got married to that intelligent girl Shivani, and they built a palace near a lake and they lived happily ever after in that palace. So that's all in this video. I hope you have understood the story well. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.